For all of you who thinks that US, Israel and Iran war has nothing to do with India, this video is for you. Because this war directly affects India's economy, energy security, markets, and millions of ordinary people. India imports about 55% of its crude oil from the Middle East, much of which passes through the Strait of Hormuz. If the war disrupts or blocks the Strait of Hormuz, oil prices could spike rapidly. Brent crude has already surged rapidly due to the conflict. And the rise in the global oil prices could directly translate into the higher fuel prices in India, increased transportation costs, and broader inflationary pressures across the economy. Higher oil prices could weaken the rupee, widen the current account deficit, and slow the economic growth. Coming to the trade, imports and exports, India's trade with Middle East is significant. Nearly 17% of the exports go to the region. And ports and shipping routes there support a large share of India's overall trade flows. Nearly 20% of India's imports move through Strait of Hormuz. Any prolonged war or instability could delay the shipments, raise insurance costs, and potentially disrupt the supply chains. This means that not just fuel, but food, industrial raw materials, and consumer goods could also become costlier. Coming to the impact on remittances and Indian workers abroad, about 38% of India's remittances come from Indian workers working in the Gulf region. Nearly 10 million people work there. If the war continues or escalates, job losses, evacuation situations, or reduced wages in the Gulf could significantly reduce remittance inflows. Reduced remittances could dampen household incomes in many Indian states and slow consumer spending. Coming to the stock markets and economic growth, Indian stock markets have already reacted to the rising oil prices and geopolitical risk, with major indices falling and sectors like airlines, tire companies, and paints under pressure. A prolonged war could shave off the growth and increase inflation risks. If this war continues, India could face higher energy costs, disrupted trade, slower economic growth, weaker markets, and reduced remittances. That's why what happens in the Middle East deeply matters to India, not just geopolitically, but socially and economically as well.